Hello, welcome back to the Blind Center series. So today we are going to solve the second problem of this series, the best time to buy and sell stock. Okay, the question is, you are given an array prices where prices of I is the price of given stock on the ith day. You want to maximize your profit by choosing a single day to buy stock and choosing a different day in future to sell the stock. Return the maximum profit you can achieve from this transaction. Okay, if you cannot achieve any profit, return 0. So this is the question. The question says that you are given an array and the element of those arrays represent the stock of some, let's say, some company on a particular day. Okay, so you can only do one transaction, and let's say you buy on some day, then you can only sell it on future. Of course, you cannot sell it before buying it, right? So this is the question. Now let's go to whiteboard and solve it. Okay, so this is the array we have. Let's say this is our stock array. Okay, now we have to solve this problem, right? So let's first talk about the brute force approach. So the brute force approach will be to sort of examine the whole possibilities, all the possibilities. Okay, now we have to consider all the possibilities. So how will we do that? Let's say we have a variable. Let the variable be profit, which is currently 0. Okay, the profit is currently 0. Let's say we have a variable I, which means the day on which we are buying, and a variable J, which means the day in which we are selling, on which we are selling. Okay, let's say we are buying on 0th day and we are selling on first day. Of course, we can only sell after buying it, right? So if we are buying on 0th day and we are selling on the first day, what is the profit we can achieve? So if we are selling it for 3 and we are buying it for 5, the profit we can achieve is what? -2. So is this profit better than the profit we already have? No, it is not, because this is not a profit, this is a loss, right? Okay, so we cannot buy it on 0 and sell it on 1. Okay, let's move forward. If we cannot buy it on 1 and sell it on, sorry, we cannot sell it on, buy it on 0 and sell it on 1, what we can do is, let me take different color marker. Let's buy it on 0. Let's buy it on 0 and sell it on 2. Let's see what profit we will have right now. So if I'll buy it for 5 and I sell it for 1, the profit which we can achieve is -4, which is of course not a profit, it's a loss. Okay, so again, we are not going to buy it on 0 and sell it on 2. So let's increment this J. Now what will be the profit? The profit will be 2 minus 5, which is again -3, which is a loss. Okay, again, we are not going to update this profit value. Now let's increment this J. Now let's sell it for 4 and buy it for 5. The profit is -1. Again, it's a loss. Okay, so now our J is exhausted. So in this case, what will we do? We will increment our I. So now let's try to buy it on first and then vary the selling date. So let's buy it on first and sell it on 2. Of course, we can only sell it after buying it, right? So if I'll buy it on 1 and sell it on 2, what will be the profit? The profit will be 1 minus 3, that is -2. Again, it's a loss. Let's move forward. Now sell it on 3. Now the profit we can achieve is -1, again loss, right? Now sell it on 4. Now let's see what the profit is. We are buying it for 3 and we are selling it for 4. The profit we can achieve is 1, which is better than this profit, right? So we are going to update this profit value. So now the profit value will be what? It will be 1. Okay, again, J is exhausted. So let's increment I now. Okay, so now our I is pointing on 2. So we are buying it on second day and we are selling it on third day. Okay, So what will be the profit? The profit is 2 minus 1, 1. Okay, it's the same profit, so we are not going to update this value. Increment j. Now the profit is what? 4 minus 1, that is 3. Okay, so it is a better profit, so we are going to update this. Now this is 3. Again, j is exhausted. Now increment I. So increment I. Now our I is pointing on 3 and j is pointing on 4. What is the profit we can achieve? The profit we can achieve is 4 minus 2, that is 2, which is not better than 3. So our final value is 3 because now j is exhausted. Now I will point here, and of course there is no j for this I, right? So we'll stop here, and the maximum profit we can achieve is what? 3. So this is the brute force approach. Okay, this is the brute force approach. The time complexity will be n square. Why? Because there is a I and there is a j, and for every I we are iterating over the whole array, right? So the the time complexity is n square, and the space complexity is constant because we are not taking any extra space. Okay. Now let's talk about the optimized approach, because of course this is the brute force approach. It's very slow. Okay, so let's move forward towards the optimized approach. So for the optimized approach, we will definitely have a variable named profit, which will be our end answer, right? Which will store our end answer. And for this optimized approach, let me change the color. Okay, so the profit is 0. This is one variable we will create. The second variable which I'm going to create is buy value. So this buy value is the value for which I am going to buy that stock. Okay, so let's talk about this day. On the 0th day, I can only buy. I cannot sell, right? On this day, I can only buy. I cannot sell because I cannot sell before buying it, right? So let's say a default value or the initial value of our this buy value variable is 5. Okay, so the default value is 5. Now let's create a pointer I, which is pointing on the first index, because from here I can start selling. I cannot start selling from here, right? Okay, so my I, which is pointing at 1. Now I have a buy value of 5. It means I bought it for 5. Okay, let's assume we bought it for 5 because my buy value is 5. If I bought it for 5 and we are on this day, and if I'll sell it on this day, what is the profit I achieve? If I sell it for 3 and I bought it for 5, the profit I have achieved is what? -2, which is not better than this. Okay, so we are not going to update this value. Now, what about just a second. Okay, now what about this value? Is it better? Is it better to buy it for 5, or is it better to buy it for 3? Like we have same value, like let's say we have same product. The product is X. Okay, we have same product. Should I buy it, like whether is it better to buy it for less value? Is it better to buy it for more value, right? If the product is same, it is always beneficial to buy it for less value, right? So I'm going to update my 5 and I'm going to make it 3. Okay, just a second. I'm going to update my value from 5 to 3. I'm pointing on this first day. Okay, so instead of buying it for 5, I should buy it for 3, which is more better, right? Okay, now after this, let me just write it better. 3. Okay, after this, let's go to the next day. Okay, on this day, again, we have to do 2 tasks. First, we have to calculate the profit which we can achieve till now, or then we should like check whether we should like update this buy value or not. Okay, the profit we can achieve if I'll sell it on this day is what? If I'll sell it on this day, I will sell it for 1 and I bought it for 3. So the profit I will achieve is -2, which is not better than the 0, right? So of course, I'm not going to sell it on this day. Okay, now is it better to buy it for 3 or is it better to buy it for 1? Because it's the same stock, it is always better to buy it for less, right? So I am going to update my buy value with 1. So now this is 1. So let me erase this. So now this is what? 1. Okay. Now let's move forward. Okay, on this day, let's try to calculate the profit. So the profit we can achieve on selling the stock on this day is 2 minus 1. I sold it for 2, I bought it for 1. The profit we can achieve is what? 1, which is better than this. So I'm going to update this value. Okay. So let's update this value. Let's make it 1. Okay. And let's erase this. Okay. Now let's talk about this buy value. Is it better to buy it for 1 or is it better to buy it for 2? Of course, it's better to buy it for 1, right? It's always better to buy it for low price. So I'm not going to update my buy value. Okay. Let's move forward. Let's increment this I. Now my I is pointing on the 4th day. Okay, the 4th index. Okay, what's the profit we can achieve? If I'm going to sell it for 4 and if I bought it for what? 1, the profit I can achieve is what? 3, right? So which is better than this 1. Okay, let's update this profit. Now my profit is what? 3, right? Let me erase this. Okay, now my profit is 3 and let's try to update this buy value. Is it better to buy it for 1 or is it better to buy it for 4? Of course, it's better to buy it for 1. Okay, now let's move forward. If I will move forward, now I am out of bounds. It means my array is finished. So this profit, the profit which we have achieved, the maximum profit we can achieve is what? This 3, right? So this 3 is our answer. Okay, let's see how we can code this. Okay, let's first talk about the time complexity. So as you can see, the time complexity of this code is what? O of n. Because I am just iterating over this array 1 time, right? And what is the space complexity? The space complexity is also constant because I'm taking a space what? A variable profit and a variable buy value, right? So it's a constant because I'm not taking any array, I'm not taking any hash map and all, right? So the time complexity is O of n and the space complexity is constant. Okay. Okay, so now let's see how we can code this. Okay, so at first what we will do, we will create a variable called profit, which is currently 0. We are going to create a variable called buy value, which is what? Prices of 0, right? The first value, and we are going to start from index 1. Prices start size I plus plus. Okay. Now, what we have to do? We have to do 2 things, right? The first thing is what? Calculate the profit, and the second is check whether we can update our buy value or not. Check whether we can update buy value or not, right? Okay. So the profit we can achieve is what? Profit is equals to max of what? The profit we have till now, or what? The cell value, which is today's value, that is prices of I, minus the buy value, buy val. Okay, and this will store the profit. Now let's check whether we should update our buy value or not. So buy val is equals to min of buy val, the buy value we have currently, or today's price. Okay, and at the end we have to just return the profit. I think this should work. Okay, I think this should work. Let's try to run it. Where is the run button? Okay, it's here. Let's run it. Okay, working for base cases, simple test cases. Let's submit it. Okay, yes, so it's correct. Okay, it's correct. And as we can see, the complexity is what? O of n, because I'm just using a simple for loop, and the space complexity is what? Constant, because I'm just creating two simple variables, right? So yeah, that's it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching, and keep coding till the next video drops.